This is Perspective Log X, and I am your host, E.A. Crespo. Perspective Log X, Lakers-fandom. All right. That I have over there is the Lakers payroll, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Okay. So as you can see, there is not much space for improvement in terms of salary, and so they would have to get rid of people and do a little bit of gymnastics, economic gymnastics there to improve. Jared Dudley and Danny Green have said before that some players are opting out, but they want to opt in back or rearrange a contract for the benefit of the team, for the benefit of themselves. And so there's obviously a plan. Let me all right. So there's obviously a plan that the Lakers have for this offseason. Now, the plan should be get as many Lakers back into the team as they can, because that's the advantage the Lakers are going to have. Like a lot of people are saying the Lakers are in disadvantage because of how quick the next season is going to start. But if you think about it, the advantage that the Lakers could have from this is that if they come back together, the same team, at least the most important players of that version of the Lakers, is that they already know the system. Think about this. The other contenders that are going to be part of next season, Miami is going to be right back there, and Miami is pretty much in the same position as the Lakers in terms of the advantage, because they already know the system. They don't need to get much better. And Denver also, I don't know if they are going to do a lot of changes, but if they bring back the team, maybe with one or two better players, if you will, or things added to their system, they are going to be right there. The question are the Nets and the Golden State Warriors, because though in paper they look like contenders for this next season, this is a team that needs to be assembled and be, they have, in the case of the Nets, they have a new coach. They have the two stars. They haven't played together. They haven't played together with the team that much, except, for Kyrie Irving. But in the case, Golden State is a question mark, right? I know they are going to be better. We don't know how much, and we don't know how cohesive cohesive, I'm sorry, um, those teams are going to be, because on paper they look really good, but we have had in history in the NBA teams that look fantastic on paper and atrocious once the season starts. So it's a toss up when you're talking about those teams. So one thing the Lakers must do is bring as many pieces, back from that championship team, and they need to improve in certain areas. We know that there was a big shortcomings that the Lakers have to kind of deal with, even though they were the dominating team for the most part of the season, and at the end, the champions, right? And we love to, if you're a fan, to see the Lakers succeed no matter what. But we need another playmaker, right? And if we don't get Rondo, then we desperately need another playmaker. So Rondo should be a priority on that end. But I have always said that the Lakers should draft Cassius Winston. I'm sorry. And this is why. I got the. He's a good playmaker for the pick and roll, right? Look, I do examine those things. All these are notes, drawing notes of my looking at players. He's a good pick and roll playmaker. He's a playmaker in general. He's got a good IQ when it comes to. He's a leader. He's got a good IQ, basketball IQ in general. He's got a nice touch. He can score from whatever. He's not the best finisher, but he's got a shot versatility that makes him not even have to, with as many cutters as the Lakers have, and having Anthony Davis and LeBron James finishing at the rim, he won't need to do that. And he's a little undersized, and he's not the best lateral defender. He's decent on ball defending, but lateral moves sometimes he gets a little bit behind. But he's got 1.2 assists per game. Now he's an 18.6 points per game guy. So he can score, but he's 44.8 field goal percentage player, and 43.2 from beyond the arc. If you have a 43.2 shooter that he can spot on, so he could play a second, shooting guard position if he needed to. And that's why I like this guy, because he's versatile offensively. He's a good playmaker. He's a good pick and roll playmaker. His basketball IQ is good to kind of poke around the holes on defenses. So you have a guy who is not as good defensively as Rondo, and not as good as a driver as Rondo is, but pretty much the IQ in the playmaking is Rondo-like, and 43.2 3-point shooter, which is much needed in this offense. And I know, a lot of people are going to say, well, but the Lakers lack perimeter defense. Well, I think the Lakers are trying to do something interesting about that. I think they are trying to get somebody in the paint like Ibaka, which is being reported that the Lakers are pursuing Ibaka. Ibaka can give you a few things. He can be a power forward. He can be a center. He's a stretch big man because he can shoot the threes. But not only that he can shoot the threes, is also that if he gets into the center position, he can switch other positions as Anthony Davis can do. So it gives a lot of mobility to the Lakers in defense. And that's that switchability is what makes possible the Lakers to guard perimeter shooting even when they don't have many perimeter defenders like Danny Green on that area. And I know, I know what people are probably thinking, but Danny Green can't guard those bigger wingmen. But Ibaka and Anthony Davis can definitely help. And because Vogel defensive system tries to force people to drive into the paint, you have so much rim protection and so much of shot blocking ability right there on the paint area, then the need for a wing defender is mitigated somewhat with that. The other thing is we got a great big question mark, which is Taylor Horton Tucker. I know. I talked a lot about him, but I see the potential. And until, last time I checked, he hasn't disappointed. Another thing is that if you see he's a driver, he can drive to the basket, which is one of the analytics that the Lakers did not have last year. And he's going to get more time, especially early in the season, because that's when they need to rest LeBron James and the older guys. So Taylor Horton Tucker probably was going to get more minutes than what we might think at the beginning. And if it happens, what I am anticipating is going to happen is that they are going to find either a big role player in him or a future star. So they are going to be covered there. But even though a lot of the things, the moves that the Lakers are going to do are going to be between the 16th of November, which is not that far from now, and the 18th, we are going to see what moves are going to be. And then the 22nd of November, that's where the free agency starts. So we are going to see really quick steps what the Lakers are going to do. But I think the draft is going to be a very big indication of where the Lakers are headed. And I tell you, I hope Rob Pelinka gets the Executive of the Year because he was the Executive of the Year last year. He took a team, impact a team enough to get him from not being a playoff team to be the NBA champions. And he wasn't acknowledged. And I know because of the success, of the historical success of the Lakers franchise, a lot of that stuff, a lot of those calls are not going to go our way because we are the NBA villains. Because, envy. So one key of the Lakers is to bring back as many players as they can. Which players? I think Rondo would be good. Dwight Howard should be good. But if we get Ibaka and Boogie Cousins, we might have that covered, the center position, and stretch centers with McGee, and rim protectors with McGee. I know Boogie Cousins is not the biggest rim protector. He's better of kind of like a wall there around, helping. He's good with have somebody, a shot blocker, helping him. He can block shots, but with Anthony Davis, it looks like a wall down there, right? And that's we won't ask more defensively from that, but he can also. One of the things about Boogie is that if you are not careful, he's going to steal the ball. And those are things that people don't see sometimes when they are judging Boogie Cousins as a defender. And so but it's important to get somebody like Ibaka because he can do so much defensively that it's going to help the Lakers. Right. So, I don't want to extend this any longer. So I hope you guys have a good night. Enjoy this week. We'll be back tomorrow. And we discuss a little bit more of these opportunities and some of the players that the Lakers might pick. I'm talking about the Lakers as picking players because I don't think this draft is really have a big value for trading. As many people are saying that there's going to be a lot of trades. I'm not sure about that because the value for this draft in terms of trading doesn't seem to be that big. So I don't know if people want to waste a trade when whoever you pick might become more valuable once it's not an intangible but a player that actually is doing good. So with that said, I'll say to you Laker fans, let's go Lakers. Take care of each other and yourselves.